Well. I'm joking. All right. Well, we're back. We're back once again. I do apologize that this video is a whole day late. Had a bit of a family emergency, and then I had to catch up on streaming and all that jazz. So, my apologies for being a little late on this video, but we'll be giving this one its as due, or it's well overdue reading. And boy, oh boy, this one is going to be, in my opinion, one of the biggest co-conspirators of the downfall. Shylily. Sure, we can say that Nano did what Nano did. We can say Bao did what Bao did. We can say they all lied because they all used the Nano's screenshots and words to justify their arguments and cancellations, and they spread false information, which in turn is them lying. We can say all that. We can say that every day of the week, every minute, every hour. That's irrefutable. It's just something that we've come to this point in agreeing. But no one has carried on the animosity, the disdain of Sinder like Shylily has, to the point where she won't mention her name. She's carried on the Sinder harassment. She has further perpetrated the hate towards Sinder. And we finally have at least a piece into the eyes of Sinder's perspective when it came to Lily. Do I have predictions on this? Not really. If anything, I think it's gonna be the same shit, different day, aka she's gonna fall into the same trap that Nano set, and we're just gonna go right back into the loop that it wasn't my fault and yada yada yada. I definitely think there is some misinformation probably strung about in Lily's direction. So we will see. We will see. And only time will tell. Only time will tell. So, without further ado, shall we begin? Shylily's reply to my apology for reference. You would never guess, chat. It is the screenshot of the biggest reply that has been memed throughout Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, on t-shirts and banners. Lily's fucking comment. One of the biggest, most explosive comments. Doesn't even have the likes and repost. It was an absurd amount of likes and reposts. I'm sure the view count for it is higher than it's ever been. I'm sure that's well over 100K by now. And that would just be a solid guess. Who knows? But I know there has been a variety of people who have just been kind of following by what their friends say and what their people say. So I will go ahead and reread Lily's comment. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolute insanity. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading, and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages. While having to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. Boy, how that did not age well. You mean through the screenshot sent to you from Nano? To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to when everyone who shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends is sickening. So, reading through this again, there's a really funny uh grammatical error, usage error, concept error here. So, she claims to claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to when everyone who's shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends is sickening. This implies that Lily would have known that Sinder was constantly talking shit in regard anyways and still proceeded to be her friend. You could make the reasonable argument here that they both knew, or like they were both talking shit together, but that would be speculation. But I'm just saying, the way that's worded, if you actually read that, that is her saying that she's aware that Cinder would talk shit about people, but somehow didn't know that she was talking shit about people. I don't know. I have experienced your own actions without read in a situation where in your own screenshotted words you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is and proceed to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. But we know that's a lie. In response to what's her name? Numi. In response to Numi, we know that she can feel guilt for her friends when it comes to this type of stuff. So we know that's just slander at this point. The fact that she's using pressure to live up to what Lily is a interesting position to take, because as Lily herself has labeled as queen of independent VTubing, and to work alongside Lily would be essentially working alongside your boss at or standing alongside your boss at a big corporate meeting. You have an expectation to live up to that person, right? Like if Lily brings you on stream, you have an expectation to be entertaining with Lily, to be as entertaining and not to be a stick in the mud, boring, not, fun, talk politics, stupid shit like that, bring up it wouldn't be smart to bring up Hassan while streaming with Lily. That would be That would be the perspective there, and that is the expectation when brought onto Lily's platform. So yes, the pressure to live up to Lily would be a thing, and it's wild that you don't see that from your perspective, right? From Lily's perspective, it would be absurd to think that she doesn't understand or grasp that when there's people going onto her platform or doing something together on the platform or even working alongside Lily, and in this case would be the GamerSupps partner or GamerSupps part ownership streams, there is an expectation that you need to uphold, right? Like Lily's the bar, you want to meet that bar. To say that that bar doesn't exist from Lily's perspective would be entirely damning and terrible, just doesn't make sense. Like that is in so many ways untrue. You would have to be aware that when you're at that point, you have expectations. That's just how that works. Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-Card collab that you rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it. No. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? This is entirely disingenuous with the previous information we were provided from the Noomies, or from Numi's area. She didn't. This is actually a complete lie. Actually, this entire thing, this entire paragraph is a entire lie, damnable lie at best, because she didn't reschedule it. It was GamerSupps that rescheduled the day to the 30th. And if anything, if you actually think about it, the way it was set up was just entirely unwelcoming. As we know, it was supposed to release on the 17th. Well, Sinder wanted to do something for it. They wanted to do hand cams together on it and so on and so forth is what Sinder wanted. Lily wanted to do the first ever hand cam stream on her own. And then that led to it being the next day. So 17th was supposed to be Lily. 18th was supposed to be Sinder. Advanced time to 2 weeks before the announcement of V-Card is the 30th, which is when Lily keeps her obligation to the 30th, and in which that the already pre-planned occurrences appears on the 30th or on the 1st. You see, this isn't a Cinder rescheduled thing. This is a business error that changed the schedule that somebody wasn't fully aware of. To say this, even in Lily's perspective, this entire, like, even with the information Lily had, Cinder said and honestly told her what happened. Cinder still figured a way to work around it. And on top of that, Cinder still didn't lie about any of it. She told the actual truth. This paragraph is the lie. This paragraph is weaponized. This is what this is. Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up the people who are the sole reason you even have opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. So you're aware of the pressure to live up to what Lily is. And also, sweetheart, don't give yourself credit. Last I checked is Sinder was growing exponentially without your help. She had to get there first, but whatever floats your boat, As Lily likes to say, making fun of people is her way to cope. Well, my bad. My way to cope is by pointing out that you're stupid. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Lily ever hear this? My bad. My bad. My bad. Cry me a river. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit to nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you are only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career and try to salvage it. In the business world, there is accountability, which is why when you went on stream and said, if you don't like the way I cope, which is making fun of people, then, that's on you. That's your fault. That would be accountability. These tweets really haven't aged well, have they? These tweets really haven't aged well in the slightest, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, these haven't aged in the slightest. Wowzers. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration. I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyro pups deserve better. Man, isn't it tough? As the woman who came out and said that she's strong, independent, and that making fun of people is how she copes, it's really weird that when a wrench gets thrown into your entire perspective and that your lies are put out on the forefront, that you and all the others have been astoundingly silent. As somebody who wants to speak up and make fun of everybody, and your way of coping is by making fun of people and cracking jokes. And boy, you really had no issue writing this tweet, that all of a sudden, now that there's a wrench in your plan, the only apology we've gotten is from Nano. Into that later. And about that, it wasn't even in public. It was in a Discord, and everybody else is keeping their mouths shut. Maybe because it's like if you said something here, you would look like an absolute fool regardless. I wonder if that could be the possible case. Never. No. It's not like your PR department's gonna make you take accountability for the lies that you sprue, or that you spitteth in other people's directions. The acid that you launched at people around you and the lies. I'm sure nobody's probably talked with anybody about this entire situation. Even then, you're not going to go tell Nano to take accountability in her Discord post where she says, I'm sorry for everybody that Sinder brought up that has no, involvement in the situation. Surely. Yes. Surely you're not going to have Nano take accountability for her actions, and that she's just going to keep doing what she's doing, even announcing her game a day after, the game that she worked on a day later. You're surely we're not going to have a fucking post from you, Lily, right? That you showing and telling Nano that, wow, what you did was absolutely despicable, probably because you didn't read this. Shylily was a friend, but I've never been close with her. I wanted to get to know her better because of how close she was to my other friends. She's someone I've always looked up to. I saw her as a role model and, as of this year, a potential business partner. I wanted to live up to who she's been for the VTuber community and gamer subs now that I held the same title. She was the only example of a VTuber in that position before me and set the bar for what gamer sub part owner is and does. I wonder if I just said something like that. I've never been jealous of her or envious of what she had. Why would she be envious of what she had when she already had what the other one had? And I didn't see her as my competition at any point. Since October of 2024, Shylily and I have been messaging back and forth every now and then in our DMs, leading up to our interactions before and during our V-Card collab you saw in the previous section. From the second half of March, she stopped replying to my messages. It's not odd to get busy and miss messages, and I was guilty of that all the time to many people. You kind of missed a little bit of there's supposed to be a little something here, like maybe move that and then put that there, and then maybe end your run on sentence here, and but it was out of the ordinary. Actually, it would probably be better to put like a comma, then a semicolon, and then your sentence would. Oh, but it was out of the ordinary and was going on for almost a whole month by the time I was canceled. This was alongside her seemingly dodging collabs we were both a part of and off-putting reactions to me rating her. I became anxious about what was going on in March and April because I viewed her in such high regard. Shylily didn't have her own document about me and didn't say anything until after I did, but she was the first one Nano contacted about any of this and was involved the entire way through. Shylily pulled everyone together to organize, plan, write, and post the documents that ended in my cancellation, and her live-filled reply to my apology was the final nail in the coffin. Her actions show she clearly had something against me before Nano ever said anything to her, and she couldn't take accountability and admit to it until I was already in the ground. Shylily said she wanted her own section, so here it is. Ain't no way. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I see you, Sinder. All right, we playing the pity game. Okay. Oh, the petty game. I like it. I like it. We're swinging. We're clapping back. I like it. Picasso, 10 toes in, girl. Do it. Okay, I like you. I likes you. All right. All right. I'll show and explain everything I was experiencing with Shylily for the couple of months leading up to what happened, since it's relevant to understand what Red told Nano in their messages. I won't be repeating things that included Shylily in the previous section about V-Card, and this section will pick up right before the release of the game and my collab with her. V-Card collab. Okay. I need to talk about this first because I made a mistake and knew it upset Shylily, even if she couldn't admit it to me. It's like somebody couldn't take accountability for their feelings being hurt, but that was beyond me. Red and I were planning my stream for V-Card's launch day and asked gamer subs about Shylily's exclusive unboxing stream to make sure we weren't stepping on her toes. During my stream on the 31st, I didn't start doing anything V-Card related until 3 p.m. EST out of respect for her. Red then gave gamer subs a list of questions I wrote down for him that my community had asked me about V-Card on one of my previous streams. Hey guys, we're planning our V-Card launch stream. Is there any restrictions on how/when Sinder can start opening packs on Friday because of Lily's stream? Just wanted to make sure I'm not stepping on any toes. Nope, 3 p.m. EST on launch day. The second the boxes come out, everyone good to go. I think he meant because Lily is opening packs an hour before launch. We wanted to see if she's the only one who can do that. Yeah, she said exclusive unboxing 1 hour before launch in her post, so checking with you guys if there is an agreement with her or not. I believe Lily will start that first hour before launch, showing off the boxes and binder and deck box and such, and then get into opening them. Yes, nothing will be purchasable on the site, however, until 3 p.m. Also, I am waiting for final members to update you this week, not wink. Is that with my code? Some questions we had from our community: how much will a box cost? How many cards per pack? packs per box. Is there a limit on how many a single customer can buy? After the first batch is sold out, how soon do we estimate there will be a restock? $84.99, 10 game cards plus 1 roll card pack, 28 packs per box. That's actually not bad. No limit. There will be first editions again, and the unlimited set will follow the sellout. Honestly, no date set yet. A lot of it depends on how quickly the first edition set sells out. Since the questions asked were stated to be from my community and I wasn't told that this information was confidential and couldn't be shared, I assumed it was okay for me to tell my chat the answers to their questions on my stream. This stream was the day before game's launch day and no info had been released on what was going on, how things would work, or what things were priced at. The information I gave made it into GamerSupps or VCard subreddit and in Shylily's Discord server, both citing me specifically as the source. Right after my stream, Gamer sent me an up. Hey, a few updates, nothing super new for you. I just wanted to send a copy and paste that everyone else got. The only big change was that the booster box is going to be sold for $89.99, not $84.99. Huh. This was the day VCard launched. Shylily talked about how angry and annoyed she was about VCard info leaking early, including incorrect info. She claimed she didn't know who leaked information, saying, I guess people are just excited to be the ones to spread stuff before me. Ain't no way she says this out loud, right? Huh? I don't give a shit. Keep talking. Cool. Uh-huh. Okay. No, only one of them info is plain wrong. I don't care about your phone mount. Quit yapping. God damn it. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna take it. We're gonna take it by. We already know that there's a large portion of that. That's not true. Because she specifically states that half of it. It's not half of it. It's literally the price is $5 off. There was a price change towards the end. That happens regularly. And it doesn't seem like anything has been. It doesn't really seem like anything has been told. Like, the price change is the only thing that's changed. But, okay. Sure. Of the info I gave out the day before, I was wrong about the price by $5, which I was only updated about after my stream ended. The only thing I advertised and assumed would be the case, but was wrong about, was VCard being available 20 minutes early on the GamerSupps app. All of their drops were consistently like this for a long time, but it was only on VCard's launch day did Red and I find out that this was discontinued. Everything else was correct, but I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to say anything about it. And will VCard be available 20 minutes early on the app or only at 3 p.m.? Everything will go live at 3 p.m. From the understanding, the 20 minutes early on the app is no longer something we do company-wide. Shylily said that official sources were the only ones with correct info, meaning herself and the GamerSupps or VCard Twitter accounts. Wouldn't Sinder be an official source as a 10% owner at the time? When someone asked if I was an official source, she said no. I was a part owner now. And I didn't know there was a difference between me and the other official sources. I was given the information directly from the source, thought it was okay to make public, and thought I was doing the right thing by answering questions the community had. My motivation wasn't to be the first to share this info. The community didn't know what was going on just the day before the game launched, and instead of leaving them in the dark, I gave them the answers to the questions asked on their behalf. As a new part owner, people were looking to me for answers about VCard, and I thought I was doing the right thing by informing them. I was wrong to do so and made a mistake, and I made sure to correct the info I had wrong on my stream on launch day. I really hate that this cancellation has brought somebody to fucking apologize for shit that isn't their fault. Like, if it wasn't for GamerSupps not telling, like, the information, nothing would have been wrong. Like, if GamerSupps would have just stayed with the $85, this entire discussion would have never happened. And this would have never, ever happened. And typically when I would feel, right, if prices are going to increase on a product that you have people you're going to sell, you probably wouldn't want to tell them last minute. You would want to tell them well in advance, because price changes like that, they can happen overnight. But most commonly, it's usually done to some form of research. I'm sure there may be something in there that's like, oh, we're not going to make enough money per percent per sales unit. That would mean that we'd probably raise the dollar or raise it by $5 so that we can further line the pocket, so that we can further resupply and make sure that we get more product out, while also making sure we don't go in the red. A lot of that isn't a discussion that happens in 25 minutes. That's usually well in advance. I feel like as a owner of something, if you are actually in the process of negotiating or discussing new plans or new payments, or, you know, something's going to change in price, like, you would want to bring that up. You would want to mention that in advance and be like, hey, something new on the price might arise. Let's hold off on providing pricing information. That would be a solid decision. That would be something you would want to communicate to your staff who are doing the sales side or the advertising side. That would be something that you would want to tell them. That would be important. The night I messaged Shylily to apologize about what I did after what happened with Numi 2 nights earlier, I was making an effort to be more open about things. Shylily avoided saying I was the person who was leaking info or admitting I was who she was mad at. I was the only one who could have shared the incorrect price and was the one mistakenly advertising the early app pre-orders. And oh, I guess there was that too. And there were posts citing me as the source of all this leaked information. Shylily knew it was me, sounded pretty mad on stream at the leaker who was excited to be the one to spread stuff before her, but danced around it as if she was never mad at me. In the end, she praised me for having the balls to reach out. Oh, she's this type of... Okay. Hi, Lily. I heard you were upset about some V-card information going out earlier than you would have liked, and I think it was from me. A few days ago, I told GamerSupps that my community had questions about V-card, one of which being about prices. Also, this seems really weird, by the way, now that I'm like kind of thinking about this, and I read Sinder's like first sentence here. If you mention, right, oh, my community has questions, and then you provide answers to those questions, it wouldn't seem like those questions were supposed to be under wraps if you provided answers to it. Why do you think this, DOG? Some may say. What leads you to this conclusion? I tell myself, well, easy. If you are providing information about a product and the question you're asked is, hey, my community is asking about pricing information. We're just going to use that in advance, right? We're just going to use one example. And I say, my community is wanting pricing information. And I say, Okay, well, pricing is $85. Well, if you then go and you think like fucking 2 seconds ahead of yourself and you go, "Oh, she's probably asking that so that she can inform the community," right? Like this would be like you go up to you have you and your buddy, right? And you're standing beside each other, and your buddy wants to know like how much fucking these bananas are at the stand, how much they cost because they don't have one. So you know, your buddy behind you is digging in his wallet while you walk up and you go, "Hey, how much is a fucking bundle of bananas?" And they go, $5. It's context clues are pretty easy to determine that when you walked up with your buddy and then that buddy started digging in his wallet for cash and then you walked up and then proceeded to ask how much something costs, it would make sense that when I walk away from the fucking stand and I go back to my buddy, I'm relaying the cost to that buddy so that he had time to get the cash without, you know, walking up to the desk. This seems like something that you could put together with 3 brain cells and a bunch of fucking super glue that wouldn't be that hard to put together and write down. This doesn't seem that fucking difficult to put together. So in all honesty, I'm kind of with Sinder on this one. The more I think about it, that it shouldn't have been information provided to her in the first place if it wasn't information that was intended to be shared with her community. Obviously, when her community gets wind of the information, they're gonna go share it like they did. 3 brain cells come together and it's like, "Hey guys, maybe we got this figure." Like, what the fuck? Schlatt, hit me up, dog. At this fucking rate, I could have made so much of this shit just not fucking happen. I'm not even a manager. I've never worked in a manager role. This is just common sense. Like, brother, what the fuck? Like, this is actually fucking absurd. Put me on the plate and I've already stood up. Like, I'm already beating whoever has provided this information, because obviously I could have been like, "I can't provide you those details right now," or "I could provide you those details, but you can't tell your community yet." Not that hard to figure out. It takes 5 fucking brain cells. Your fucking own, I don't know, whoever was handling the sales there, fucking drop the ball so fucking hard. He absolutely took the ball, dropped it, kicked it, punted it halfway across the field, and then is wondering why the fuck it ended up in the defender's hands. What the fuck? Your own sales manager person, whoever the fuck, leaked the information that apparently wasn't supposed to be leaked. What the fuck? What a shocker. Crazy, guys. Wowzers. Holy buckaroos. That's crazy. I could have never expected that to happen. Yeehaw. Like, what the fuck? Okay. And that, yeah. And being an answer to a question I asked on behalf of my community, ding dong. Are the bells ringing? That, hey, this information might get let out the moment you provide it. Crazy. That made it seem like it was okay to share, because it seemed like it would be okay to share. I also only found out today that GamerSubs is discontinuing the app early access, while I was under the assumption that V-Card would launch with the same access like other drops over the past year. So I want to apologize to you if I was the one. She just kind of sold GamerSubs to me. That's okay. To cause you stress and confusion for the community. As soon as I was given updated info at the start of the stream today, I made sure to correct my mistake from before. But I'm really happy that V-Card's launch did so well, and I hope that we can have fun together tomorrow if you're still down. Aw, Sinder, don't worry. I had some annoying chatters tell me a bunch of info I never released, and they were spreading stuff around in my Discord, when I literally told them the day before that the info is not going to be available until launch. But they blew up my Discord, claiming VTubers have been claiming that stuff on stream. It was literally, don't fucking lie. And then today I had a bunch of people in my chat upset that I changed the prices. Like, bro, get off my dick, LMAO. I didn't do shit. But yeah, it was during my day off, and I didn't want to make a tweet or anything correcting shit because that's low-key a bit weird. Like, making drama out of a misunderstanding wouldn't be making drama. So I just mentioned on stream to not trust any sources that have been spreading info and only believe info I publish, gamer subs, V cards, or any other direct source. I also doubt you were the only one talking about it. Plus, if you ask GG on behalf of chat and no one told you it wasn't supposed to be public, then that's on them. So she admits it. Uh-huh. Okay. She admits that she knows Sinder was the one that talked about it. She admits it. This part was a little weird on stream, though, today. A lot of info has indeed been made public, and a bunch of people have been making posts and stuff about V-Card and any additional info, so I hope no one caught strays. LMAO, also hold up. Yours and blanks are the only completed pages after 4 boxes. Also, of course, I am still down to pull together tomorrow. Only reason I haven't reacted to the sheet yet is because I saw it as I was going live and I was already behind because I am a master procrastinator. I did not get shit done till after I was... What? To the sheet? What sheet? Huge fucking respect to reach out about the info stuff. That takes a lot of balls. Could have just kept it to yourself after all. Huh. I appreciate that. I just wanted to clear things up with you so there wasn't any weird feelings about us. I completely understand how annoying people can be when plans change and they start pointing fingers at us. And I know V-Card has been your project, so I see why you'd be frustrated. I'm trying to do my best to get everyone on board with the cool things we do and with the information I have, especially now that I'm a partial owner like you. I'm super hyped about the future of V-Card and all the cool things us and gamer subs can do together. So, in another conversation with gamer subs a couple weeks later, we asked for them to clarify to us what is and isn't able to be shared publicly going forward after what happened during V-Card's launch. I was told that there was not really a certain source the launch info was supposed to be coming from. Also, for future launches, please let us know what is and isn't supposed to be said publicly and when it can be. Red really likes the dead fucking SpongeBob thing. Yeah, the info I asked about for the V-Card launch that I thought was okay to share with my community ended up being wrong, and I got a lot of backlash for it. I didn't know that info was only supposed to come from certain sources. Blank. Fully understood. Very sorry for that. It was my fault. There was not really a certain source, but when I gave the info here for launch, it was at that time correct. I believe hours before launch, we changed things last minute. I should have updated that right away. I will be absolutely sure to say what is public and what is not moving forward. Wait. Okay. The very last collab I had with Shylily was a few days after a V-Card collab. Who are these people? I love being a VTuber, but not knowing VTubers. I know two of them. I think the other one's a roach. Uh, we're gonna go with that. This is the first time either of us messaged each other since our V card collab on February 1st. I asked Shylily if she wanted to play Split Fiction with me. It was a long game that we would have been able to bond over while getting to know each other better. She told me she'd pass on the game and that was fine. And then I asked Numi, who was also unavailable. She told me that Yuzu was interested and I happily played through the game with her. Aww. Well, new season dropping Wednesday and I'm going to take an extra day off and just blast WoW with my friends. Uh-huh. Oh, WoW new season. World of Warcraft new season dropping. Oh, okay. The last time Shylily and I spoke was when she reached out to me about disconnecting problems she was having with OBS. Trying to fix my own disconnecting problems are what made me move back in with my parents before this conversation. Tee-hee, I know how this happened. I figured this out. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee. I know what causes this. So I had a disconnecting problem with my OBS for so long, but I was only getting this pop up within the last month or two. It's like it was on an OBS update. I'm not sure what exactly fixed it, but there was two things I did before it stopped happening. One was to uncheck the browser source hardware acceleration box in OBS because the update broke the source hardware acceleration box in OBS settings, and the other I had to repair some of my System32 files in command prompt, but I have no idea how I did that because I just followed directions on some forum. I don't know which one was the actual solution. It was the source hardware acceleration box in OBS settings. I don't know which one was the actual solution, but I haven't been having problems since blankety blink blink blank for over a week now. Only a week? I thought you fixed your issues a while ago. I wish. False alarm, I guess. Praying that this time it is actually fixed. Thanks for trying to help, Pookie. I'm gonna try to bother Mythic. Oh, hope you don't have any more problems with it. It was going on for like 6 months for me. Cause it took so long for a fix. It was fucking crazy. I dealt with this for the entire duration, and if you never updated, you just kept fucking dealing with it. And I can tell you as a streamer, 99% of the time, you only see that update notification because you're about to go live, and you don't ever stream, you never update OBS when you're about to go live, so you press that button, like remind me later, like everybody fucking else. Dude, I could never. It's pain. It's happened out of nowhere. I changed nothing. Now I can't stream for 5 minutes. Tough. Fucking hate my life. Kill me. Me every day. Such a mood queen. After this, there were 2 different repo collabs Shylily and I were supposed to be part of. This was when I thought things started to change between me and Shylily. This was the first repo collab. It was originally going to be on the 15th, but was rescheduled to the 21st. Shylily was supposed to be there, but decided to cancel last minute due to a Bikini Bottoms collab she had going on that day. I understood just like everyone else, and this alone wasn't a problem to me. Hey guys. Guys, remember whenever she gave Sinder shit for scheduling shit on the same day? Hey guys, remember this? Who remembers this? Cause I do. Fucking weird. Wild. The second collab never happened, but was being planned in a group chat. Shylily was added to the chat, but apparently couldn't make it shortly after. She never messaged in this chat directly before she was removed. These are all messages here, and it never went anywhere after this. Hello, oh wowie. I will set up a day for us here in a bit. It will be modded. Oop, Lily can't make it. That, not gonna lie, definitely a little weird to you get added to a group chat and then you don't even inform the group that I've been in this situation. I always sent it to the group chat. From then, these are the rest of my DMs with Shylily. Below, I'll explain them and other events that were happening in between them. Do you want to play V-Card Sim together sometime soon? I missed you during the repo collab last week. I hope you're doing well, Lily. Or I found this cute co-op Souls-like slime game. It looks like there's water and fire slime we can play as. Have a good stream, to Lily, and bumping this in case you missed it. Hey Lily, is everything okay? I know I've been told you aren't the best with messages, and I get we're both super busy with things all the time, but I kind of feel like I've upset you in some way and wanted to ask you directly. How dare her learn from her mistakes with Numi and express her feelings? How dare her? How absolute dareth, queen? How dareth you do this? How dareth you learn from your mistakes? And from learning from your mistakes, you decided that you were gonna try and express your feelings so that you could be a better friend, but it didn't matter because your friend never talked back to you. I messaged Shylily the day after the above collab chat happened when the new V-Card rules were announced and the tabletop sim version was revealed. I would have thought she'd love the idea of playing together to advertise and show off the new rules of her game. It'd generate hype and renowned interest in V-Card after lots of people were dissatisfied with the first edition's game mechanics. It was an idea motivated by business implications of it, but it was something to do together as friends that I thought we'd both be excited about. To me, this would make sense. It would have benefited us both and the entire brand. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Because if they weren't happy about the first one, right? If they weren't happy about the initial first edition's game mechanics, you know, you would want, because remember, you got to take into account, not only did Lily do her own stream, they did a collab stream where they both did it, right? This would have been a great opportunity for gamer subs to rebuild that trust. Shylily greeted the raiders and didn't say hi to me or thank me for the raid. I didn't see it when it happened, but if you were to watch for another 5 minutes after she'd basically moved on with her stream, you'd see she then did quickly thank me for the raid. If she was able to greet my raiders when the raid first happened, then why couldn't she have also said hi and thanked me then? I wasn't upset about this since it was just one raid. Nano's document had a link to the exact timestamp this raid happened in Shylily's defense. A week later, I still hadn't heard from Shylily. I messaged her again about playing a different game together. I just wanted to hang out since she hadn't been able to make the past 2 collabs that we were both supposed to be part of. And maybe she didn't like my idea about V-Card. She turned me down when I asked about Split Fiction a month earlier. So it's not like she hadn't done that before or couldn't have done that again. I rated Shylily again. Damn, source and everything. Shylily VOD. Whole 9 yards. Shylily didn't say hi or thank me for the raid like you'd expect your friend to do or any streamer to do. She said hi to my raiders but didn't thank them either. She goes on to read one of my chat messages, but this was the second time Lily had an off-putting reaction to me sending my community to her in the past couple weeks. Coupled with removing herself from collabs I was part of and ghosting my messages, this more recent raid was not linked in Nano's document. I decided to DM her again to bump what I sent her before. After still not hearing from her, I was convinced I had done something wrong. I'll play devil's advocate here. Yeah, this definitely seems like these raids had ulterior motives. Obviously, you know, if you're getting ghosted, people do this all the time on Twitch. I'm not gonna be like it's an awful thing to do. It's a thing people do. I get it. Because sometimes you want to get a hold of somebody and sometimes it's really hard to get a hold of somebody. So what's the easiest way to remind somebody that, hey, you're trying to get a hold of them? you rate them. Basically, what you do is you get tired of fucking knocking on the door, and at a certain point you just Kool-Aid man right through that motherfucker, and you say, hey, remember me? And sure enough, you know, sometimes you get a fucking DM, other times you don't get shit. It's wild. I was expecting an overtop reaction from Shylily just because I rated. Just a hello and thanks for the raid like any other streamer would do. That is general courtesy. Please do thank your raiders and, you know, try and at least have a conversation with them if you can, because it helps bring attention to them and it helps move people over to their stream, which is the whole point of raiding and sharing communities. Especially from someone who was a friend in the past, Silvervale, who Red and I knew had a problem with me, purposely refused to say my name when I raided her. She continually ghosted my messages and got a model from Nano at a suspicious time. I really want to get into the fucking Silvervale stuff. Purposely refused to say my name when I raided. I want to know the evidence to support that. She continually ghosted my messages. Oh, I guess also to finish up, I just realized that I skipped past this without saying the devil's advocate thing. It could definitely look attention grabby from Sinder. I'll give that. It definitely looks a little attention grabby. I'll play devil's advocate here. Among other things, which will all be shown in her section, these specific experiences with someone else who we knew didn't like me further led both Red and I to believe that Shylily had a problem with me for some reason. It's definitely weird. I wouldn't have thought that. It's definitely weird, because it definitely did start after the V card thing. It definitely started after the V card thing. So it's kind of hard to not say that there was some sort of animosity from the V card stuff, but also, you know, we have all the other stuff going down with Nano during all of this, so it's possible that some of that information went through here. I wouldn't have thought that the individual things I experienced with Shylily were pointing to a greater problem if they weren't all happening over the same few weeks. The same day as my second raid, Red saw Nano working on a new model for Shylily for the first time. He messaged her and asked questions about the timeline of the model. Yeah, we remember this. Because they were trying to figure out on whenever they were able to get more work. Stuff like that. I asked Nano about Lily and her projects just like I would any other time, and Nano gave me the information just like she would any other time. I thought that Lily getting a model from Nano could possibly be related to how she was treating Sinder lately. Bit of a jump on Red's part, but Red's really good at jumping. We fucking making wild conclusions, so we know roughly how that's going. That night I saw Red, and he told me Nano was working on a model for Shylily, but didn't say anything about him asking Nano about it or that he would. I was happy with the idea that Shylily and I were going to be model sisters. Wait, why are they called model sisters? I miss mama siblings. Can we bring that back? Model sister sucks. Especially since we're both part owners of the same company. Red thought that we might have to consider that we'd be competing with Shylily with the way she was treating me, and the fact that she was working with Nano now, similar to how things were with Silvervale. I didn't agree. In my mind, Shylily and I weren't going to be competing for anything, and this would be another thing we'd have in common to hopefully bring us together. I was only concerned with why she would have been upset with me lately and was anxious about it. Red is jumping here, but he's making competitive business minded jumps. I see where he's coming on from this, because if you are getting ghosted for how long was the ghosting? 328 to 47 to 411 to 421 for almost a whole month. You've been ghosted. For almost a whole month. Absolutely fucking ghosted. It's a reasonable jump to make. I'm not gonna be like, wow, that's really... there's some animosity somewhere. If, you know... if you go from talking, you know, like this, to talking like this, to, you know, like this, and sending little handpicks with hearts and collecting each other's cards to try and finish pages. And you're talking like this. There's a reasonable jump that there's some animosity building up somewhere. Where? Don't know, but we know there's something happening behind the scenes. I believe we are at the point where things start getting finicky in the timelines released from Buff Pup and from Shylily herself, because Buff Pup says that they had information in regards to this, and I'm not saying that Buff Pup's lying or anything, but Buff Pup said that she had information in regards to the situation a week or like a couple days prior. But I want to say Lily says weeks, possibly a month. Don't quote me. I can't remember it directly, but it's either a month or says weeks. Meaning that at this point in time, they should have the information. The next day, Red went back to Nano to ask about Shylily again and tell her what I've been experiencing with her. These are also the last messages Red had with Nano and the last conversation either of us had with her in either of our DMs and Project Server. I had no knowledge of these conversations with Nano's document was released 2 weeks ago. In my apology, I wrote, I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shylily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true. I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past months and was worried about something was wrong, but that was as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. I didn't share any of this conversation or the conversation above with Sinder because there wasn't anything super meaningful or pressing I thought she needed to know about. Yeah, that's dude talk. Like that's dude talk right there. And when I mean that's dude talk, like, ladies, if your dude is loyal, caring, and he figures out and he finds out something's hurting your feelings, and he does a little bit of digging, and he doesn't tell you that he did the digging, it's probably because he found nothing. It's probably because no information was discovered that was any sort of pertinent to the conversation at hand, and that it wasn't going to solve anybody's fucking problems to bring it up. If anything, he knows now that there's the problem. Granted, it doesn't look good, but it's out of, it's from a good place. Take that into consideration. Ladies, I gave you our secrets. Hey Nano, do you have any more plans with Lily besides just the model, like outfits or merch or anything? Been just the model so far? Okay, her asking for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Sinder lately. We don't know if something's blink, something's going on. Oh, that's weird. Ever since V Card's launch, I have a hunch. That seems odd. They're talking. They're talking. Because this is the common. This is okay. Y'all gonna have to follow me on this. Okay. This is called mirroring. It's to buy time. Okay. People do this in high stress situations. When you're having a conversation and you want to buy time, you just mirror what the other person says, and it buys time to think of something, have a conversation, come up with something in your head to try and get you out of the situation. It's mirroring. It's a thing people do. Oh, that's weird, But what you consider weird? That's super weird since they both share the same store. That's super weird. That's really weird. That's super weird. Pretty weird stuff. Really weird. It's mirroring. 110%. This is just mirroring. They're repeating the same shit so that they were able to buy time in a conversation so that they could come up with something. A mirror deflect. That's all this is. It's really, it's different to say, right? Like it's weird to go if your buddy of you walks up to you and says something weird happened, and you said weird, and then he replies with the only correct statement to that because you didn't ask a question, you asked weird. The correct reply sentence wise is, yeah, just something really weird. And then you follow up with the next. You can loop it back, right? You're playing. You're mirroring back to them. You can loop it back, so you can go. Your buddy comes up. He goes, "Something weird just happened," and you reply, "Weird." And he goes, "Yeah, just something really weird." You are avoiding the question that would be leading up, because what he's looking for, what he's fishing for in the conversation is you to say something weird happened. What weird happened? What was it that happened that was weird, right? He's fishing for you to ask what happened that was weird. That's what he's fishing for. That's just the natural progression of conversation. When you reply with weird or, oh, that's weird, like, what do you expect? How is the conversation supposed to progress from that? Your buddy walks up, hey, something weird happened. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, answer me how that's supposed to be figured out. It doesn't make sense. You can't figure that out. There's no way to answer that question. Oh, hey, so-and-so's been acting weird lately. Oh, that's weird. Why would they be acting weird? Why would I say that's weird that they're acting weird? There's no conversation that can continue from that mirroring. That's the whole purpose. There's no point. That mirror there doesn't continue a conversation. It doesn't fish. It doesn't question. It doesn't progress anything. It just repeats back what they just said. And then they can't just. They don't want to bother you with it, so they're just gonna go with, well, that's weird. Like, yeah, something weird happened. And you're gonna be like, oh, what's weird that happened? Like, this doesn't, yeah, she knew. At this point, I could reasonably say she knew just because of this interaction. This interaction seems so fucking weird. I didn't lie about anything here. Me saying ever since after V Card launched was because around then was the last time I remembered them collabing and talking with each other. Like I said, after, I remembered Lily saying it was too soon to get a new model around the start of the year, but I didn't consider the 3 to 4 months that passed when I said this, and obviously Lily changed her mind since then. This is the only time I ever said anything to anyone other than Sinder about competing with Lily. If Lily had a problem with Sinder and at the same time started working with our model artist, because also here's something we have to take into consideration, right? You're like, you guys are going to be speculating, right? We are less than 2 weeks away from the cancellation. We are like a week away. We are a week away from the end of Cinder's streaming career at that time. That's it. This is it. She knows. She knows. There's no way that they didn't coordinate the docs. Like, they weren't coordinating the docs at this time. There just isn't. This is the only time I ever said anything to anyone about the Sinder about competing with Lily. If Lily had a problem with Sinder and at the same time started working with our model artist, then yes, we wouldn't be working together anymore. In my mind, we'd be competing with her, and the very least over Nano's time. If Lily wasn't treating Cinder differently, I wouldn't have had any reason to think the timing of Lily's model with Nano was suspect, and no reason to ask Nano anything when she started working on Lily's model. I would have felt the same way about it that Cinder did. Between these screenshots, they were talking about something unrelated. Real, is it just Cinder and Blank you've been doing continuous model outfits for? We'll have the demon update list plus final arcade reference for you soon as it's finished. I think it is having out for Blank Plan 2. As for Blank, got nothing for now, but she always comes up with something. Do you know who's rigging Lily's model? Gonna be Blank. Thanks, Nano. Sorry for all the questions. Just gotta stay informed, especially when it comes to our top artists. Never a break. Don't worry, just don't stress too much with the side things. It's bad for balding. Don't dive in. Gotta stay competitive even when we shouldn't have to. Us, your PFP looks like a guy with a mustache. Bonk. Don't go too far on the competitiveness. It can get bad. Gotta chill sometimes. Hey, it's not us. Not like us. Sorry. I stayed informed with Nano's plans because of who she was to us and our brand. It's always been that way, and it's never been a problem with her. I said we have to stay competitive as in a general sense with the entire VTuber sphere, even when we shouldn't have to with someone like Lily, who we thought was a friend, now acting this way. Huh. So that's what that image is. I have no idea where that's from. We aren't the ones getting a model from the artist, the GamerSubs owner, out of the blue and ghosting them. Wait, what? Oh. And refusing to acknowledge them. That's true. Me getting GamerSubs to start the work shift. Oh, real same. Okay, what do you think would be better? Updating parts of the demon model like we did 2.0 or making a new demon model? I don't know how much new stuff you ended up doing with the angel outfit, even though it was a 2.0 base. At this point, I'll always suggest a new model since she's pretty old now, but it's your money, your orders. The demon is the oldest 2.0 model. True. Seems so weird. This entire thing just feels so weird. These are my last messages with Nano. I guess saying anything about it, Lily was a step too far for her. I don't know why. If she did think I was lying about Lily for some reason, she didn't just ask me to verify what I was telling her instead of leaking our messages. I never asked, told, not only leaked, fabricated. I never asked, told, implied, or said anything to Nano about not working with Lily or canceling her model she already started, and I had no intention to. I still hadn't heard from Shylily, so I tried messaging Bosca? Who are you? About my previous DMs. Hey, Bosca, I hope you've been well. Could you bump Lily for me? I sent her a couple messages about hanging out sometime, but I'm not sure she's seen them. AMAO. Yo, I will continue the convo for planning things in the group chat. Also, as a side note, Lily rarely uses Discord, only really uses it for business meetings and stuff. We were messaging kind of frequently a month or two ago. That's why I asked, but no worries. Bosca told me Shylily rarely uses Discord and only uses it for business meetings and stuff. Which was weird because until these past few weeks, I didn't have any problems getting a hold of her in our DMs. I hadn't had to message Bosca to get to Shylily since before October 2024, so this was out of the ordinary by now. The messages below were the same day in the group chat with us and Shylily. I was fine with not doing anything together, and I just wanted to hear from her since I had no idea if something was wrong. Nothing else was ever said to this chat. Yo-Yo usually use groups to schedule Lily's things, so I can put in all, wait, so I can put in all in her schedule. To mention, she's very occupied. She's very occupied the coming months since she'll be traveling around to blank and will be hanging a while with blank. Think about I'm free to plan any time. I had mentioned playing a tabletop sim version of V-Card or a cute co-op slime souls like. It's okay if she's not interested in either. What's called me Shylily would be very occupied in the coming months because of a trip somewhere, implying I shouldn't expect to plan something. This was my last message to Shylily 5 days before anyone posted their documents. I tried to talk to her about whatever was going on to clear up things between us. Shylily never responded, even after praising me in the past for having balls to reach out to her. Yep. Yeah. I don't mean to be that guy, but again, I was right. Like, I didn't like Lily for certain attitude purposes. She has this earlier than thou feeling to me, or holier than thou. Sorry. And it always made me feel a little weird whenever I would like tune in for a little bit. Like she always had this opinion is right type of thing, which is up there, but this is, she lied. And that entire tweet, large portions of that tweet were lies. It really just is. Like, this was a lie. Earn Your Bag was a lie because she didn't reschedule it. Like, this was a lie in speculation. This was just speculation. And this was just speculation. Because they didn't verify the screenshots. The screenshots were never verified, therefore this was lie and speculation. This entire thing, like, her entire tweet that exploded on every form of social media was just lies and speculation. There's a couple of it, there's a couple bits of it that have some truth kind of sprinkled in, but it's ridiculous. I don't fucking get it. And so I don't know. Seems just so fucking weird. I really I really thought I muted that train long enough. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is, I don't understand how people have come to the conclusion that they've come with reading it so far. Like, I'm sure a lot more is going to appear in the breakdown. I'm sure that that's a like, yeah. I'm sure the breakdown's going to be a big one, but I don't know. I don't get it. Again, I knew immediately just from the way it was all set up, the reactions, the way, you know, especially after Shylily came out with the things that she said, and then Buff Pup came up with the things that she said. Again, no animosity towards Buff Pup. A bit of animosity towards Shylily. But yeah, it's pretty blatantly obvious that they all kind of jumped on the nano bandwagon without attempting to verify information, which led to them all lying about stuff. That would be pretty damn close to just being wrong. You just lied. The biggest issue with this is that I think a lot of people are missing, at least so far from what I've read, of course, is that the accusations came from Nano's point and perspective. Nano's perspective was lied, manipulated, tricked, and fabricated to better her position so that in the absence of Sinder, so long as she didn't come back or try and make any sort of follow-up post like this and not expose Nano, this would be the outcome, right? Like this would be the general like progression of things. But with nobody verifying the information and just hopping on the back of their friends, which is why that I'm one of those fair people who I don't give a shit whether or not friend, foe, competitor, opponent, doesn't fucking matter. What you say to me, I only ever take at face value until later points, until I can prove or I can be shown evidence to verify your story. Yeah, am I a good friend for doing that? No. Do I care? No. Why? Because it keeps you from looking like an absolute fool like this. That's why. Because this, I don't want this to be me. This, I don't want it to be me. This doesn't want to be me. If I'm making a post like this, I am making it with 100% accuracy to everything I am saying. So, my takeaway from this chapter is Lily lied in her own way. Lily fabricated her own lies. And Lily definitely knew more than was led on. And this was planned probably around the time she started ghosting. So what do I think of this? I think Lily's just as guilty as I've always thought. Really nothing in that position has changed. Again, I still think so far the only person who doesn't owe Sinder an actual apology would be Numi. I think Numi was wrong in some of her positioning. I think Numi was wrong in the way she held things, especially like trying to say that her concert wasn't business related, even though it definitely was. But the thing I don't think she deserves to give an apology to Sinder for any reason. I think Numi has been relatively fair in all of this. But so far, I definitely think Bao needs to make a comment about how she cried on fucking stream, but somehow that doesn't affiliate to her attitude off stream. Nano needs to make a public apology, not a shitty ass fucking Discord apology that had no basis in fucking anything. And Lily, so far, yeah, I think those three deserve to give a public apology, 100%. Other than that, appreciate you guys staying for the end of this video, not too long. The next part is going to be the breakdown, which is 300 plus pages. I will not be doing only a recording of that. That one will be live streamed I have some stuff to catch up on, and I'm going to make sure I want to have a prepared voice for all 300 pages. So that one might be releasing in a couple of days. I will be recorded live on stream. You can find me on Twitch at DOG_web there if you want to watch it live. I will post a short on this channel to give a more clear update on when I'm going to do it if you want to be there live. So until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Do consider, if you liked this video, to leave a like, to drop a comment. If you have any questions, I try my best to reply to all comments at all times, every time. If you want to know anything, drop it in there. You're more than welcome. And until then, y'all have a good day.